Monsieur Neuvillette intentionally maintains a certain distance in professional and private settings. Many say this makes him cold and unfeeling, but I believe the truth is just the opposite. In order for all beings to be treated equally under the law, a certain level of emotional distance is expected. Maintaining that kind of indifference is, in itself, a demonstration of kindness.
The Chief Justice always feels strangely aloof, though his words are always humble. Or perhaps he just doesn't like dealing with humans? After all, when he speaks with Melusines, he's actually quite friendly.
Monsieur Neuvillette rarely appears in public, almost as if he's intentionally trying to put some distance between himself and the people. At first, I thought it might be just me, but my ever-observant sister noticed it too, so I suppose that must really be the case.
One day when I surfaced after a dive, the Chief Justice was just standing there alone on the beach. I don't know whether he had something on his mind, or was just enjoying the view. Obviously, I didn't ask. I only locked eyes with him for a split second, before disappearing back underwater. Thinking back, I must have looked so guilty.
I was once summoned by Neuvillette to discuss some matters with him in his office. When I approached the Palais Mermonia, I saw him standing by the road, completely drenched in the rain. I held out an umbrella for him, and, well, he thanked me politely. His expression was a little distressed, I guess. I can only assume that I had disturbed him in the middle of something.
If you want to interview the Udex, you have to provide all the interview questions in advance and get them reviewed by the relevant department at the Palais Mermonia, who decide which questions to approve and which ones you're not allowed to ask. It's their way of making sure the interview goes off without a hitch. Oh, it's such a rigmarole. I'm losing the will to live just talking about it.
Everyone knows that the Udex abstains himself of all personal emotion when presiding over a trial. Some even say he lacks the warmth of human emotion. But the way I see it, justice should remain uncorrupted by personal feelings. Those who break the law bear guilt. It's as simple as that.
No one is in any doubt as to the Udex's authority. He always delivers a fair verdict. And when necessary, I will reiterate the fairness of this verdict with my sword.
How to describe Monsieur Neuvillette? He's complex in some ways, but very straightforward in others. I guess a good analogy would be rocky reefs in the sea. Trying to navigate through obstacles you can't see makes for a bumpy ride, but if you can figure out how they work, you start to spot the signs.
Monsieur Neuvillette was the one who brought the Melusines to the Court of Fontaine and found jobs for us to do. Together we integrated into Fontaine society and learned about the wonders of humanity. I have huge respect for him, and I really like humans too. Who would I save first if Monsieur Neuvillette and a human fell into the water? Well, that's easy. He definitely helped me bring the humans safely to shore.
As a perfumer, if your sense of smell starts to become dull, there's actually quite an easy solution. Drinking fresh water. I'm not usually strict about the water I drink, but out of curiosity, I once attended a water tasting event organized by Monsieur Neuvillette. He had such an abstract yet distinctive understanding of the distinguishing features of different types of water. It almost reminded me of the way magazine articles talk about perfume. He took the time to understand my needs and recommended a few water sources to me with utmost sincerity. He was so considerate. Sometimes I'd choose to buy the varieties he recommended, even if just out of respect for him.
We Melusines are Monsieur Neuvillette's familiars, but that doesn't mean he shows us any favor beyond what is fair and legal. I willingly accepted when he put me on trial, and I fully agreed with his verdict. I remember the day I left for the Fortress of Meripede. It was raining really hard, but I didn't feel like the raindrops were cold at all. They were warm and gentle, just like the way Monsieur Neuvillette looks at me.
I'm very grateful to Neuvillette for all the hard work he's done for Fontaine in the past few centuries. It seems he doesn't intend to investigate my crimes of deceiving the people. Anyway, we're no longer working in tandem. And it's been a long time since I've been to the Palais Mermonia. I imagine that this is good for both of us, right?